Hi, I'm Danita Westman, the well-rounded fiberista, and I'm your fiber arts teacher now. Settle in, class is just beginning. Today, I wanted to show off the finished object that was my last FO of 2022 that also was the project we worked in my Fiber Arts Alongs group on Facebook for our fall knit along. The project that we chose was a pattern that's available for free from Knitty, which is an online magazine. They've been around for 20 years. That's a great people with a great ethos, and they offer wonderful patterns every quarter for free for anyone to come and access via their website, which is knitty.com, KNITTY.com. And this pattern is an oldie but a goodie by Kate Atherley called Wavedeck. Wavedeck is a lovely half pie shawl, so semicircular in shape. My wingspan should be a little bit more than 5.5 feet, so you can see mine blocked out to a lovely open, probably 5'9", 5'10" across the top edge with the lovely shell edging at the bottom along the way. I worked this in a merino wool and silk blend DK weight yarn and used just over 500 yards to finish it all out. Very happy with the final result. The pattern itself is a mix of written directions and charts. Most of the knitting is done off of a chart, and it's a very simple repeat if you've read charts before. It may be a little much of a challenge if you have not worked with charts previously. It does change regularly every row, but it's very doable. And I definitely think you should give it out and look at it, give it a try. The thing I wanted to show you actually today is the back side of this shawl. And I know with lace it can be kind of tricky to see, but you can see here, the back side, I've got long tails hanging. Also, as you can see from all of the lovely holes that opened up in this work after blocking, I blocked this very aggressively. And I actually did use a measuring tape to make sure that all of my points are the same distance from the center back of the shawl, which would have been right about here, and worked those pins to get that lovely half circle shape that you want with a half pie shawl. I didn't have to change skeins too often in this, but all of my ends, like these right here, I left nice and long. I only wove them in a few stitches, and then I went ahead and washed and blocked it and pulled it tight. And now that it is completely dry and off of the blocking boards, now I can go back and take this 6-inch end that is hanging, as you can see right here. You can see that end jiggling around there, and go ahead and work those ends the rest of the way into the lace. And I wanted to talk about why you would do that. Certainly, washing and blocking does not always mean stretching your work until it screams. With knitted lace that is designed to have a lot of holes, a lot of open space in it, I do like to block my lace until it cries for mercy, because the further you open those holes up, the less they're going to rebound when you take the pins out. So I really prefer to do my lace that way. Not all blocking needs to be this aggressive, and we'll talk in another video later about why you would choose to do that or not choose to do that. For this shawl, I chose to make it nice and big and open so that it's nicer to cuddle up in, and it almost acts like a schlanket that'll curl right around your shoulders. And because of that merino silk yarn content, even though there's all these holes, it's still going to be nice and warm. When you're going to open something up, as much as I did this work, I like to weave in just a little bit of an end and then leave a nice long tail. This was my cast off tail, I think. A nice long tail to work with, so that you have the ability to open up all of this lace as much as it can possibly go. I only weave in a couple stitches, like this one right here. I only went about 1 inch, and then I'm going to leave that end hang. The longer the end is, the less likely that loose end is going to work itself loose and free and create a hole in your knitting while you're washing and blocking it. Even if you don't agitate, everything in the water shimmies around and it relaxes. And if it's a short end that's not woven in very far, it can come loose and then you have to repair your knitting before you even get a chance to wear it. And that's really sad. The other thing is, I knew I was going to open this up and stretch it aggressively. If I were to weave this end in very securely in lots of different directions and turn it back on itself and, you know, weave in all 5 inches of it, every stitch that I touch in this area is going to be held in place by this end that I've woven in. And it won't open up, and it will not allow the lace to open up, and it'll create a conspicuous area of tight tensioned knitting around the rest of the lace that is nice and open and relaxed. So if you're planning with a project to block it aggressively like you do with knitted lace, I recommend only weaving in your ends maybe an inch worth and nice and loosely, don't pull them taut, and then leave that long end to hang as you wash and block it. Just be careful of it, make sure you don't snag it, and then after you're done blocking it, you can finish weaving those ends in and trim them in, and then you can add it to your wardrobe. So I've got my long ends that are ready to be woven in here, and now that everything is washed and blocked, I'm going to finish those ends, tuck them in, and send this gift off to its recipient, who was the nice knitter who gifted me this yarn. Thanks, Fran. I hope that this has been helpful. It's given you something to think about in your knitting and your finishing, because truly your knitting isn't finished until it's finished. And that means off the needles, ends woven in, washed and blocked. And I hope that this has been helpful. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.